Tonight begins a year-long celebration of 40 years of play at the Children's Museum of Tacoma. We are so grateful for you all being here tonight, not only to help us celebrate our past, but to support us as we shepherd the Children's Museum of Tacoma into its next 40 years of service into the community, honoring children and youth and championing their right to play. Tonight, we honor special moments in our history and the people who have created 40 years of play in Pierce County. I'd like to start first with the people, those who were at the very beginning and those steadfast champions who have grabbed the baton and passed it on over generations. We are delighted and grateful that many of the museum's founders, who we endearingly call our founding moms, even though there were some dads too, they came out of Gala retirement to be with us tonight, and let me tell you, I really had to ask. So I'm so glad they're here. This remarkable group identified a need and in a very beautiful grassroots and community-centered way planned the seeds for the Children's Museum of Tacoma. Could I please ask our founders to stand and let us recognize them for their inspired creation of the Children's Museum of Tacoma. Stand, please. And I'm hoping that they will stay standing. And what I'd like to do is I would like to ask anybody that served on the board of directors in the 90s to please stand. We got a couple. How about the 2000s? I know some of you are here. There we go. How about the 2010s? Stay standing, Gail. And how about the 2020s? That's right. That is right. It is so cool to see so many past board members come back to celebrate tonight with us. I'm so grateful they're here, and it's really special to me that the Children's Museum remains a priority for you. Tonight's also the 21st year of the Right to Play Gala, which actually got its start as Playing Under the Stars. The Gala's become a celebrated tradition that's raised millions and millions of dollars for the Children's Museum of Tacoma and its programming. The Gala is organized by a group of volunteers, our Gala Council. I'd like anyone in the audience that has ever served on the Gala Council to please stand and let us thank you. I know there are a lot of you. Yeah. Thank you. Now let's take a little walk down memory lane. Museum exhibits and playscapes have been a center to our experience and engage our visitors in all the different forms of play. Show of hands, how many people have taken a little person to one of our children's museums? Okay, now, how many of you remember playing in the Children's Museum when you were little? I knew there would be a lot of you. Yep. Many of us just felt a lot older, just gonna say. In the Court C days, who remembers their child experimenting with pulp in the Amazing Paper exhibit? Or constructing fantastical structures in building buildings? What about practicing your fine motor skills by planting and harvesting in the beloved vegetable plot on Broadway? Or pretending you were a character in Gerald McDermott's The Raven story? In our current home, who has watched with half delight and half horror as your child immersed themselves in the water tables? Or watched your child take a special imaginary journey on the Voyager? For 4 decades, the Children's Museum of Tacoma has celebrated the power of play in the lifelong journey of learning. Play is not just a joyful pursuit. It is the most effective path of discovery, experimentation, and learning for young children. A simple concept, Play is deep in its impact. Play is essential to a thriving childhood. Human connection is another powerful, magical outcome of play. The intimacy of a playful moment between a child and his parent, or the excitement when a new skill is developed through play. The community that comes together are strangers in one space, but they're all for the love of a child. Connection is the true meaning of this work, and it fuels our passion and our obligation to make sure that the Children's Museum of Tacoma and now the Children's Museum at Joint Base Lewis-McChord are as accessible as possible for every child and their family. This is why, yeah, thank you. This is why the Pay-As-You-Will admission program, which remains trailblazing in the Children's Museum world, is so critical. In a recent audience survey, 60% of our visitors say that if it hadn't been for Pay-As-You-Will, a visit to the museum may have been a financial hardship for their family. We've served just over 1 million visitors since we opened in our current Pacific Avenue location. It's kind of mind-blowing that 600,000 of them might not have been able to come, but because we come together as community and make access a commitment, those children and their families got to experience the power of play. This commitment to access is so important, a priority of our board of directors, that to commemorate our 40th year, we will be launching a special major gifts and planned gifting effort to ensure that Pay-As-You-Will continue in perpetuity. Also, yes, it's going to be exciting work. In honor of this commitment, we will be dedicating your gifts tonight to the Children's Museum of Tacoma and the Children's Museum at JBLM's Pay-As-You-Will admission programs. It's an important promise that we make to the community's families, and we could not do it without caring, generous friends like you. So I would like to ask you to raise your glasses. We're gonna make a toast. I don't have one, but let's pretend. We're good at pretending. Let's toast to the people that have made 40 years of play possible, and to a wonderful, thriving future for our Children's Museum of Tacoma, but most importantly, the children that we serve. Cheers to the right to play. Thank you for celebrating with us tonight.